Good morning all, hope you're doing well. TGIF. Our risk calculation took a bit of a slump on the technical scores, and what had happened yesterday is that the Nasdaq fell nearly 300 points, quite a lot, and the VIX also pumped as well. So because of those two, we had a decline on the scores, and also the S&P fell as well. So it's looking at the percentage change, and it's also looking at percentage change over the last 5 days as well, and that's got a greater score than just the one day. If we've got a negative score over the last 5 days, that's weighted, in respect to that, because this is obviously a stronger measurement than just the one day. So what we're going to do is when we get nice and low, we're going to be looking to buy, and then we get nice and high, we're going to look to take profit, and that's what we'll do, and we'll just repeat that cycle over and over. And so what's happening, I think we could be maybe teetering a little bit on the sentiment a little bit, and perhaps we got a little bit extreme on the indices. So when we get extreme, we can fall, and then we're looking for a nice buy the dip opportunity, which would be cool. So let's tell you about the robot. Let me get that up. Oh God, where are we? Okay, bring that across, and our robot is current trades. We're looking at this, so it's fine. It's not bad. I was just saying about the free margin that we've got. We're currently only eating up £8 margin, so it could probably be done on a small account, but I would obviously still recommend something large-ish over 1,000. So that's how we are currently situated. And the last week we've made £29. So since last Friday, which is pretty good, and I'm quite happy because it could be a lot worse. And I was just saying in the Discord, we seem to be okay this week because we didn't have any central bank risk events. And the trouble with those risk events that we see a big change in and of big money and their positioning. And it can mean that the retail guys can be right, or they can be totally off guard. There's a sudden change of positioning from banks, and it can mean sometimes, due to the quick nature of that exchange, that the retail guys could be correct in their positioning by luck. So so we'll have to see. I know we've got some central bank stuff going on the next couple of weeks, and there's 6 central bank risk events coming up. So it seems to be that we're fine without these horrible things that are going on that are skewing price. So it's a good testimony of the robot. The logic is sound, and it seems that we're doing okay. There's only a small little issue here, is that we triggered buy and sell at the same point. So I'll need to investigate that Sunday night. I'm not sure why that would be. It might be there was a little glitch on the sheets, or maybe a glitch on the MyFX book API, potentially. So that's how we stand. So we've done very well this week, so I'm very happy. Oops, I'll double click that so I can maximize it. And just a quick one today, I think, really. So what happened is that they'd sold it. So, they sold it here. So we should be above this line. However, they are going long, which is quite unexpected because normally they sell it. Right? So they're going long. I know some data releases from Europe came out, and there were some banks beat estimates. So it could be doing okay, maybe from that. But the herd have gone long. We've made the sell, the risky sell. All right, so be careful because of that. We'll have to map a box Monday, and there'll be a box here. Assuming that they continue to sell, then this would be a resistance. So 16143, 16103. So it all depends what happens here in the next 45 minutes, okay? And they could potentially carry on going long. If they do, then we'll come. Let's look at S&P. We can't show you Nasdaq sentiment, which is quite annoying. It'd be quite nice to see that. They've gone long, so we can create a box. Let's draw a box. And I'm quite looking forward to the weekend. It's been quite a long week, but it's been a decent week. I was quite patient for the start of the week. I didn't open any trades Monday, Tuesday. I was just monitoring things because I wasn't sure whether or not we were going to go risk off. Because if you remember, last Friday was quite heavy, and we might see another heavy day today potentially. Well, they've gone long, so this is a resistance. So 4549 and 4564, and they might sell it, but currently we're not having the crossover, so we can continue to fall. But if, of course, if they sell it, then it will come. So it's very tricky. Currently bearish because of that. So this can hold resistance, but it will depend on what they do over time, over the next couple of hours. I mean, they're conditioned to sell it, aren't they? But we'll have to wait and see. And here's Ferry. And they had sold it, so we can create a box here. And it's crazy because look how strong that is. But they've sold it. They're disregarding that trend, and they're selling it. You know, it's quite clearly an uptrend. You can see. Admittedly, we went sideways here, but we just resumed the uptrend. You see, sometimes things have to consolidate and accumulate before the next move, and we saw that big move. So, box. Oops, go back here, and yeah, so it's here, isn't it? It's a box within a box. There it is. And so they went long ever so slightly, but really could argue this it went sideways, and now they had sold it. So there's that move, quite a big move as well. Gold, we have to remember that we hit the weekly ATR, which is 1982, so we really overextended it by a lot. That's like that's the technical level. The herd had gone long, so that's a sentimental, and also the treasury yields rose, and you could probably argue that's fundamental. So there's three reasons why this fell yesterday, and it might be the case they're going to go long, or they might sell. It's very, very tricky to say. We'll have to keep an eye on this. So if they continue to go long, which they have done just now, can you see that tick? You might just need to rewind this video just back 10 seconds, but this just ticked up. And by ticking up, it'll mean that this will fall, this price, because they shouldn't be getting paid. There's a little influx of dumb money buying just then, that little tick. So we should see this wick above now because they've gone long. And if they're going long, there has to be someone to counter that trade. There has to be someone to sell it. So it could be falling because of this. So we're just at the precipice of the buy or sell. We can see how close we are to the MA. And I guess that's it. So the robot's going well. I'll have to investigate on Sunday morning, Sunday open for the FX open, and to see why it opened up AU buy and AU sell. But at the end of the day, it will just cancel each other out. You know, because we've got our SL and TP in, and we're only using a tiny micro lot, so it's not a massive deal. It's more of a curiosity why it would have done that. You can see the time, 3 seconds apart, but it triggered buy and sell. So worst comes to worst, it would just cancel each other out, and we might make a little bit of profit out of it, potentially. So very happy with that. Be careful with your indices. Remember, our strategy is that we're going to wait for this to dump quite a bit more, probably maybe in the 15s, 20, and then we're looking for longs, and we're going to take profit when we're about in the 80s or 90s, but we wouldn't want to be selling the indices because of this. We're only looking for buys, okay, because the sentiment is very much risk on, okay, especially if they're doing this and they're selling over time. And that's it. So have a great weekend. I'll be back on Sunday for the COT data, and I wish you a nice weekend, and you can put your feet up and things, and you have a nice time. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Remember to trade safely at all times. It's so important.